Stumbled unaware on the keeper of my soul. In the brilliance of her aura, I could see the promises of deity. Like a soul, my soul, a flame, I saw her aura. The beauty of 1,000 lifetimes, all surpassed in that one moment.
Many have argued about the true strength of Estolia. To some, the nation's most abiding strength is and always shall be the ever-present touch of deity, blessing the Estolian people. To others, the true strength is the power of love garnered by the exchange of souls. Few can continue to have hate within when they have felt their soul keep or be kept by another. Gallagher Octavian, Capitulo 76.
Shania felt the comforting warmth of the man pressed up against her. One of his arms was around her waist, while the other held the reins of the horse they were astride. The man holding her close kept whispering things in her ear as if she could understand him. Each utterance left her feeling more entranced. Occasionally he would point to some feature of the landscape before explaining in his foreign language what she was seeing. She glanced at Liarana. Judging from her expression, she was as overwhelmed by the other twin as Shania was by the one who was holding her. Would he take her to his bed and claim her as concubine or lover? As a slave, she could not expect him to claim her as wife. He was a prince of this marvelous land. Likely he had a princess already. Wife, or betrothed. Even if he had no one woman picked out, it was certain he would not select a slave. She would be lucky to become the servant of his eventual wife. At the thought of serving this man's wife, she pictured herself physically assaulting the woman. She was more possessive of him than anyone else in her life, including Liarana. If he wished it, she would consent to be his, but she would never serve or tolerate any other woman claiming him. The building they were approaching was extraordinary. How much time did it take to build the magnificent edifice? The massive pyramids, built in the land of her grandmother, required tremendous resources in the form of dedicated men, slaves, conscripts, and artisans to construct them. The structure built into the top of the mountain they were approaching was similarly immense, but it must have taken more skill to build. It looked like it was home to scores of individuals and had far more elaborate construction at its core. Antiochus was thrilled to see his brother's attachment to the beautiful woman on the horse with him. She looked like she would be an enchanting and exotic addition to the Zacharian bloodlines. Her hair was thick and straight ebony. She looked like she had southern and eastern Mediterranean influences in her ancestry. He already looked forward to meeting the nephews and nieces she would produce for him. His attention swiveled from his brother to the blonde angel who was riding like she was born on a horse. Kedrick told him she claimed to be a priestess of an Egyptian god, but rescinded the claim shortly thereafter. He wondered what their story was, to be so ignominiously transported in the cargo hold of a slave trader's ship. He thanked deity for guiding them into the Estolian harbor, and fortuitously onto the treacherous western shore of the harbor, where at least 3 other ships had foundered during his lifetime. When those with ill intent came to Estolia to wreak havoc, they invariably chose the western channel. Deity was always watching out for the sons of Zacharias. He would have to speak to his uncle to make certain they were at their 30th birthday prior to taking the blonde beauty to his bed. There was no way he would jeopardize the chance to spend his life with her by taking her to his bed in advance of his birthday, no way he would delay the consummation by a single heartbeat. He shifted uncomfortably in the saddle as he felt his flesh grow, his loins growing taut. Trying to distract himself, he focused on the day his brother learned what the role of last resort entailed. The impact on his brother had been profound. Prior to that momentous lesson, Tremaine didn't understand the ramifications of last resort. They both grew up on that day. They understood their future roles were serious and that failure to fulfill their obligations would destroy Estolia. His gaze shifted once more to the blonde woman. Her image shimmied like sunlight dappled across the ripples of a pond in late afternoon. The ever-shifting undulations of her aura whispered to his soul that he would fulfill every last obligation required of the firstborn son of the king of Estolia. His brother's role of last resort would be a ceremonial position during the forthcoming capitulo. Not every ancestor had an exquisite beauty as the keeper of his soul. But deity was providing him a woman who was more beautiful than any other woman to walk Estolia's shores.
I stumbled unaware on the keeper of my soul. In the brilliance of aurora, I could see the promises of